This is not something you're going to close. They're going to be clicking on ads and clicking on things. But that decision in their mind is probably 6, 7, 8 a year down the road, because they don't realize if they're building a $70,000, $100,000, $150,000 pool, that's not a decision they're going to make likely. So this is where retargeting ads come in, where people are saying, well, I did Facebook ads and they don't work. I said, you're doing the wrong ads, because nobody's going to Facebook to run ads. Remember, we're talking about search engine marketing, and Facebook has a search engine. Problem is, nobody's going there to buy pool service. Nobody's looking it up, who a pool service company is on Facebook. They're either going to Google, or they're going to YouTube. Once they kind of know, that's what they're doing. But you need the retargeting ads, because when they go to Google, when they get the ad on Facebook, it retargets them. So what do people fail to understand about marketing? It's that it's about brand and repetition and repetition and repetition until you're in front of that client, and that client sees you about 13 times. Whether it's in print ad, whether it's in ads, they don't just click once and make a decision, because they're going to go to the website, and then they're going to get a phone call, and they're at work, and then they're going to get distracted and say, I'll go back to this later. How many people you get the call? Oh, my wife's been on me to call a pest control company now for a month, because we've had a roach problem and ant problem for 2 to 3 weeks. And people just don't get to it. They're busy. So the idea that if you put an ad out and they click your ad and they go to your website and they fill out the form, you're going to get a lead. That's not the way it works in real life. So that's why retargeting ads are important, because now what you're doing is they went online, they search, you pop up on their local area as a local company. Then they go to YouTube and they're watching a YouTube, and your ad pops up on YouTube because they got retargeted because they did a search. That's where the power of social media marketing is, in the ability to retarget the customer where the customer is at most of the time, which is either going to be Instagram or Facebook, or if you're younger, TikTok. Okay, so that's where, when will they be needing you? Where do they live? Is the customer buying where they live, or they're buying where they work? But most of the time, if you're targeting a money area, you're going to have to target where they live. So you don't want to be marketing everywhere. And this is why I'm talking about a hyperlocal strategy, because when you only have $600 to, let's say, $900 a month, you're going to have to pick 1 or 2 things to do. You can't do 5. And you're going to have to narrow it down to be something really, really narrow, where you might be able to do retargeting ads and local ads and LSA ads, but you do it in a very small area where it's manageable, where you can now scale that. Instead of trying to cover the entire county, you call Yelp and say, well, if you pay us $2,000 a month, we'll give you the entire county. Do you really want the entire county? Because you think you do, but when you figure out your cost of traveling, if you're a pool service company, what I want to do is go on a map in an area, and I want to go to my county, and I want to go to Google Earth, and I want to look at every house that has a pool in that area, and I want to go knock on those doors, the ones that have pools. Why would I be knocking on other doors to find out if they have pools? Why would I be targeting everyone? So if I was going to do within a 5-mile radius, I would pick every address with a pool. And if I'm going to send out a postcard, you see, so it's about micro farming, micro marketing, hyperlocal, but now you can do hyperlocal SEO and you can do hyperlocal SEM. All right. So why would they pick you? What is your USP? It can't be we're the best and I have 25 years of experience. Everybody is the best. There's nobody that knocks on your door, calls you, puts out an ad, and says, we suck, but choose us. Everybody's the best. You got to have a really unique selling proposition. You also have to start thinking about your brand. And I know that people who are starting up, who are $100,000 companies are not thinking about brand because they're thinking about Nike. Okay? They're thinking about Coca-Cola as a brand. We're talking about having a consistent look and a consistent message across all the platforms. When we're talking about brand, it's about building that local brand, building local trust, that people see you everywhere in that community and they think you're everywhere. And it's about building that brand. It's about being clean. It's about being crisp. It's about being consistent across the brand. That your logo is clean. That if you have all this nice branding and then you show up with no uniform and an old beat up truck, your image isn't consistent with what they saw online. Everything needs to be consistent. Uniforms need to be consistent. Trucks, the way they look, need to be consistent.